Before we get started, super quick, thank you, Irame, for your donation off camera. I've jotted that down for whatever it was. I already wrote it down. Doomblock, Jedi Survivor, and Prince of Persia Lost Crown. And then we got a sub from Lade Torval for Stranger of Paradise, FF16, and Star Ocean 2R. Then we got one from Pillicalic for FF16, Guardians of the Galaxy, Epic Kingdom Hearts block. Then we got one from Candyman. That was for the Pixel remasters. FF7R1 and FF7R2. All very long games. Can't escape the long games. Unfortunately, we may also have to delay the Kingdom Hearts. The Zelda block again. Given the way things are going. Okay, where's my stuff? There it is. Let's go ahead and update this. I don't think the score changed any. Okay, changed a little bit. Quick audit off camera, as is my usual. Just to try and make sure that we're up to date on things. And this is just taking 1,000 million billion years to load. As everything does when you're in a hurry. Go. Okay. No, Darkrai. Ignoring the fact that I actually can't buy a PS5 right now. I established that just a few days ago. I don't want one. It would be a giant paperweight. Like, even ignoring the obvious waste of money, it would be a waste of literal space to have a PS5. No. You can wait. Suppose I should stop playing music. There we go. Okay. Right. We were fighting Boss Jackass. Yeah, literally better to wait for the port. In every way. We're full. Good morning, Noctis. I'm gonna stop trying to go for the trick this time, I think. And just do it to it. Crap! I continue to disagree with it not parrying that attack. I have no idea why it keeps missing. If the timing is sufficiently tight that I can't get it from the preview pane, something's off somewhere. Where are my missiles here? Bull crap. keep trying to preempt that stupid parry and keep getting hit for it. I don't know why I keep missing the parry. Like, that's what killed me. His hit, if you miss the parry, is 4 E-tanks worth of damage. Dickfish, I'm sorry. Good morning, Braglin. For those of you not aware, some enemies actually, I don't want to say can't, but functionally can't be beaten. Unless you use their parry attack. Just to add to the parry mandation. Tell if he's aiming high or low. He hit me all 3 times because I couldn't tell where he was going to hit with that. Thank you, Diesel Edge. Always appreciate you. I will put that towards dealer's choice. It can go high, yeah. At least I think it can. It went high last night. And I was dodging up, and then it went high and killed me. I am at 8 E-tanks. If that's low, something else is wrong somewhere. 8 of, I think, 12. Honestly, this is a boss I want to enjoy, because it does several things very right. And there's everything else it does. Like that, right there. Sorry, those 3 E-tanks. Damage, my bad. 300 damage with the gravity suit, by the way. Trying. No, this is the strongest armor we get in this one, Darkrai. We're taking 1/4 damage right now. Yeah, I've actually gotten probably more E-Tanks than a normal playthrough at this point would. There's certainly stuff I could grab right now. Not a lot, though. You can get to the end of the game without the gravity suit, Ball. It's a little rough, but you can do it. Also, minor complaint, but while I'm at it, the lock-on for the storm missiles just takes way too long. Just a solid second of having to stand still to start locking on. I don't mean like to actually lock on, by the way. Just to get to the point where we got the yellow beam. Then you have to get to the point of actually getting all 3 lock-ons on the boss, which is about another second. 2 seconds may not sound like a long period of time, and if so, then you aren't playing this game. Now you can hold a lock-on like I just did there. So that's cool. Then you gotta reinitialize in order to actually finish the shot. Two, Deckfish. We've hit phase 2 pretty consistently. It's not that hard. one of the defenses I remember hearing for this boss is that it has an insta-kill mechanic if you manage a speedrunner trick. Therefore, it doesn't have too much health. I agree with that, Blade of All. Like, it's... A lot of things about this game are this close to being... Well, I don't want to say perfect, but really, really good. And then most things in this game also have something that just kind of ruins it, you know? And again, the more I play this game, the more I think that the awful working conditions that the workers had to endure is at least partially responsible for that nonsense. Hi, Dark Prince Raven. And I do love the animation, really. No, exactly, Blade 12. If this game had had a little bit more time, a little bit more playtesting, I'm pretty sure they could have hammered all this out. Remember what I talked about during Super? Super has problems, 10 negatives to gameplay. But what Super also had was tons and tons and tons of QA testing. And lo and behold, it's one of the most polished games ever. Talked about that during the video, during the stream. The amount of QA testing they did for that game was above and beyond. Probably Blades of All. Other than Mario Wonder, of course. And Mario Odyssey. Probably Tears of the Kingdom. Look, other than Core Nintendo, let's just call it what it is. And like it or not, this is not Core Nintendo. This is Mercury Steam. And it shows. B57. What is that guy doing down there? Hey, quit it. Yeah, no kidding, vulgarity. The one time they threw everything into it, then the executive producer died. And I don't say that to be dismissive, quite the contrary. That was awful for every reason. But it does make me wonder, if there's one thing I've found to be consistently true in gaming, it's that if there's not an executive in the office, you know, in the management, in the executive offices, arguing and fighting for a game's property, and that property languishes or dies. That's exactly what happened to Mega Man, to use a direct example. Devil May Cry suffered from that as well. Resident Evil was suffering from that until, you know, they had their big turnaround with 8. Etc., etc. I should stop using Capcom examples. Square is someone who is also a victim of this as well. Yeah, Mega Man 11 didn't sell well enough. It's the best-selling Mega Man game of all time, but that wasn't good enough. That's true, by the way. Mighty Number 9 is a game we don't talk about, because it was trash. No, it wasn't good enough. No, it wasn't better than nothing. No, it wasn't just as not as good as a Mega Man game. Mighty Number 9 was trash. Yeah, we streamed that game. I have earned that opinion. I am also a backer of Mighty Number 9, by the way. I'll own that shame badge. In the background there. And while we're here. Yeah, speaking of which, so I know we're all talking about the Zelda block. How many people are hyped for the Republic Commando run? I'm curious. I've never actually played through that game, so it'll be a first for me. I have heard from many people it's the good Star Wars game, especially for that era. Like, no offense, but the Clone Wars era produced a lot of really crappy video games. So... Then again, I guess it's just Star Wars in general, isn't it? What am I doing? I'm going left. Yeah, I streamed it briefly once during a May 4th stream. But we only got like an hour in. Yeah, the Lego Star Wars games, those are cool, by all accounts. And everything else is a dice roll. I mean, the Battlefront games might be good, Zach Taft, but that would make them one series of games amongst hundreds, which sort of makes my point. Very true, Blade Chaval, as most LEGO games tend to be. Sorry, I'm just checking something really quick. You know what I could do? Are there any E-tanks I haven't gotten that I know of? No. I didn't think so. What about... Hang on, let's check one more thing, if there even are any. Which, it looks like there... Oh, there's one right there. Any of those? Nope. Cool. I mean, LEGO is very gamified by its very nature. You don't have to do a lot of the usual stuff to explain how a game operates. It's a LEGO. So a lot of people are on board immediately. There's also a lot of inherent gameplay just to being a LEGO thing. You can build and destroy pretty much equally. It's LEGO. I'm not trying to sound dismissive. Quite the contrary. I think it's one of the benefits of the concept. Lego Factorio. Yeah, let's do it. I'd play that. Play that today. Let's go. Yeah, exactly, Darkrai. Anything up here? Anything up here? I haven't really gotten to show this off yet, but something I really do like about this game, one of the zigs as opposed to zags, is when you're in an area that has a secret item, minimap glows, and it actually shows you the range. It shows you the secret item is somewhere within this box. So there's a secret item here somewhere. Probably right over here, if I were to guess. That looks like it wants us to come in from the right, which is an area we haven't even been to yet. Probably because we have to go in there from the left. So let's do that really quick, just while we're here. And you can see how, you know, it doesn't... It's the right amount of guidance. I'm just going to put it that way. It doesn't hold your hand. Instead it says, hey, there's something in this area. Gives you a direction to look in, as opposed to the opposite, which is, you know, power bombing or scanning every square inch of everything ever. Something we've given a negative to for almost every single Metroid game so far, including Super. So of all the things that I have issues with in this game, that is not one of them. Huh. Well, over here, let's get this power bomb that I can totally use. I do like how the sound is different when you get something that you can't use. And it's like, you got a thing. I don't know what it is, but you got it. That's weird. Yeah, I agree with the overall crowd that if you just showed me where the item was, well, it'd be too much. There's no gameplay involved at that point. You're just telling me where to go. Would you give me a range to search? Wow. Just opening up shortcuts, don't mind me. Some little stuff we haven't done yet. Wrong button. Wrong button. Wrong button. No, no, no. Oh, that's irritating. Oh, that placement is so irritating. There. Yes. Screw you, game. Anyways. Yeah. Also, if you zoom out, you can see the general areas you're missing stuff. I'm missing something down here, up here, and over here. Yeah, slopes. Slopes are soaps. Slopes are dopes. Okay. So I'm gonna go this way, ironically. It's okay. Sure, game. Whatever. What's the fastest way down there? Let's do this. Remember this? We saw this item like at the beginning of the game. Wait, no, that's not this one. Sorry, it's the next one. Sorry, next one. We did see that item at the beginning of the game. We already got that one. Oh, this one. We also saw it at the beginning of the game. Oh, right. Okay. Stop, like, existing, please. Good morning, DC Maven. do think the plasma cannon could do more damage, yeah. I'm telling you. This should be the end of the X-Parasite. I can actually say that now, because the... Yeah, because, you know, they've been revealed as it. God damn it. I mean, honestly, the plasma beam is probably one of my favorite weapons, but I have to clarify specifically from Prime 1, where it's just the heat gun of death. It's always nice, you know, having a heat gun of death. What's that? Right. The X-Parasite, who are totally sentient, Sakamoto. Sentient and capable of long-term thinking, planning, and understanding. Sure. Arranged for me to not get access to one of these items. So let's go fix that. I said it before and I'll say it again. I think in both Samus Returns and this game, one of the biggest flaws is that they decided to balance their game around presumptions of the quality of the players and the quality of tricks they were going to use. Screw attack. And I think that was a mistake. Still don't have power bombs, by the way. Yes, that is correct, Dark Metroid. I even showed that off when we were streaming it. So now we have Screw Attack. I mean, balancing a difficulty mode around the highest level of players, sure, vulgarity. Balancing the entire game around that? No. That's pretty demonstrably bad design. Especially a property like this. If I might be so bold, and to continue to compare this game to Super, Super can be a rough game, but it was designed and balanced for people to be able to play and enjoy. Not for the highest end of people to play and enjoy. Or if I could use another comparison, the worst, like objectively, the worst period of time in World of Warcraft's history was when the lead designers balanced the entire game. Questing, itemization, level scaling, the way stats worked, the way aggro works, the way healing works, the way cooldowns worked, the way global cooldowns worked, the way that item budget was utilized, the way that crafting worked, and the way that enchanting worked. All of that stuff was all balanced around high-end rating, specifically mythic rating. That was a huge freaking mistake. You don't balance your entire game around that percent. Now, I'm not saying don't cater to that group. Not at all. Quite the contrary. I think the Dread mode in this very game is a good example of how you can balance a game around that concept and be for the group of people who want that kind of experience. And that's awesome. But I'm not playing on Dread mode, you know? Let me phrase this differently. Building your whole game so you can avoid 100% of the damage, thumbs up. That's good, in general. Especially for a game like this. Then balancing the damage and health around the presumption that you're going to avoid every attack in normal mode, not so much. It's why I absolutely give credit for them for Dread mode and for some of the higher end stuff they did. And then the rest of it is just kind of like, What am I doing? I don't actually know what to do next. Well, I did just get that, and I am here. This game is guided to hell, so we're going to assume it wants me to go up to Berenia. And yeah, Super Metroid, let's keep comparing this to the best. Super Metroid is a game that has a very solid, I call it a power progression curve. And the further into the game you get, the less of a hassle just traversal gets by design, by nature of how the enemies operate and the kit that you are offered as you progress. In this game, not so much. At least not until you get to the furthest end of the game, which admittedly we are at, but still. Because we're probably going to beat this first shift, knock on wood. We do still have 2 bosses left, counting the final boss. Anyways, rant off, moving on.
Uploading data.
Well done, Samus. You have stopped the planet from cooling. In addition, you have gained the Screw Attack ability. It will help you access previously unreachable places. You are far more combat ready than when you first arrived, but you are still not prepared to face Raven Beak. There is a very low probability of success in standing against him now.
His dick is just too big, you don't understand. That's Adam from Fusion, Dickfish. So, I don't know if this works in every case, but something that has been proven to be true several times in gaming is if you build your game for, like, when you're initially designing the game, and you design it around your hardest difficulty and then scale down, usually that helps. I don't know if they did that here, but considering Dread Mode, I think, didn't even exist when this game launched. Who knows? Listen, he just, it's that big, Pillar of Snow. Even though he has a cloaca, it's that big. You don't even know. You don't even know. I'm gonna be honest, I can barely tell that's damaging them. I'm taking your word on it that Screw Attack is actually doing damage. Okay, it looks like it is. Screw Attack does damage. Good to know. I'm serious though, by the way. A lot of games did exactly that. They balanced around the highest difficulty possible, and then they're like, okay, now let's bring this down for the lesser difficulty modes. Yes, slash Arcanine. I'll in fact. Honestly, all of our arm cannons are our wives. It's kind of weird, but, you know, you get used to it after a while. In a game like this, you can see the benefit of doing so. I kind of already gave this away, but in a game where you can, like, how do I explain this? If they weren't balancing around the hardest difficulty first, then they probably wouldn't consider to do things like making sure that there is a possibility of dodging every encounter, right? Of dodging all the damage, I mean. If you're balancing around the idea of something doing relatively low damage, it might not occur to you that the player might want to avoid that damage, and therefore make it possible to do so. Make sense? I've seen a lot of developers who run exactly into that trap, and then they're like, alright, now we gotta make a hard mode. And then they do, and that unavoidable attack they already designed is suddenly a colossal pain in the arse. Usually happens in games that are less designed, but you get the overall point. Alarak, but an idiot. You know? I can see that. Don't forget, DMC3 also requires you to unlock easy mode and mocks you for doing so. Which you might think, who cares? But no, that kind of psychological manipulation absolutely works. Good morning, Spartan. Worked on me, I will freely admit. Yeah, actually, Doom and Wolfenstein have been doing that particular trick for quite a while. Well, congrats to her, Spartan. The nightmare is almost over. I say almost because continuing education is a thing. But it's close, right? It's close. Well, that was an interesting side trip. Yeah, a surprisingly large number of games in the 80s, 90s, and aughts were designed around rentals. It was a big business, especially here in the States. What was it? Echo the Dolphin? There was one specific game, which it's very rare that they admit this, which is why I'm pointing it out, where someone actually flat out admitted, yeah, I made the later parts of the game bullcrap, specifically because I didn't want people to beat it on rental. Now, what's really stupid about that is if you think about it, rental is still a sale. You're selling it to the rental store. Now, you could argue that you're losing sales there, but, not only is there no evidence of that, but, if someone is going to fall into something that hard, they're probably just going to return the damn thing. Unless they're counting on people not returning it, in which case that's even stupider. Yeah, rentals also lead to sales. That's another thing. I know with total certainty that several people, myself included, bought games because we rented them and were like, this is awesome, I want this game in my life. That's how I bought Final Fantasy IV, for God's sakes. Thank you, Inocience, very much, as always. In fact, I can actually name a lot of games I bought because I rented them first. Yeah, no, it's the same goddamn fallacies they're still using. Oh, piracy is out of control. Emulation's out of control. We're losing money. Won't you please think of the shareholders? Screw 'em. Idiots. Hitman 3, Stellaris, and Factorio. You got it, Inocience. Ooh, I can talk. Okay, I don't really have a direction right now. Let's go up. Let's go up. Up feels right. We haven't done much in Gavoran. Yeah, I'm not even going to get into bullcrap like De Novo, which, well, I can only speak for certain types of people, like myself, admittedly. But I know people, like myself, for whom De Novo is actually a deal breaker. I can attest personally that De Novo makes streaming a game substantially more irritating to do. Never mind playing. So I've been thinking about Takoida's implied statement here. Takoida flat out said, do you think the beam damage is too low on this? But I think there's kind of a related issue. I think beam damage in general isn't really super well designed in a lot of these games. And I think the reason why is because they always want you to be going for something else, which is always going to be better than that. You know, the super missiles or the screw attack or whatever, right? I'm not saying that's a good thing. It's just something I've been chewing on. Because I realized there's a couple of Metroid games where that is not an issue in, and I think the reason is related. And, yeah, exactly. It's like white damage. It's just noise. In some cases, bosses are completely immune to it. I think the main games that avoid this are twofold. Super, of course. Charged beam attack is still useful up until the final boss of the entire game. And Prime. Prime 1, specifically. And the reason I bring up Prime 1 is because Prime approached it completely differently. Rather than thinking of your beam weapons as your missile damage, each weapon was instead different in how it operated. You have your basic shot, which can be used to break down armor and pull stuff in. You've got your shotgun, which is exactly what it sounds like and can freeze. And then you've got your plasma, which can shoot through stuff and also catches things on fire. The additional little thing on top of that, making the beams their own separate modes, helped keep each of those beams relevant all the way up until the end of the game. And I'm not even talking about the fact that the last boss requires you to switch beam modes. I just mean, up until the final dungeon, those different beam modes were still useful. And I think making each beam fundamentally different instead of, you know, dot and then, you know, bigger range of attack and then bigger range of attack that goes through things was a better thing. And yeah, it is, you're absolutely right, Blade 12. The reason that worked is because it was being designed more like an FPS and less like a Metroid game. But it worked. And I find myself wondering if that same idea could be applied to the 2D Metroids. I mean, God's sakes, when we were playing Samus Returns, I never really showed this off properly, but the D-pad over here was used for swapping in between ion modes. Now here the D-pad does effectively nothing. It's just like, it's this, and it's doing the scan, and that's it. So imagine a Metroid game where the D-pad is used to swap weapons, to swap which weapon you're using pretty much on the fly. It's right there, right on the thumb, quick and efficient, and you can do it in combat. And you've got 4 weapon types you can just swap between on a glance, right? Just bam, 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 bam. I think that could work. And yes, I realize I'm basically just copying Prime, because Prime did the same general control scheme, but you get the idea. I don't know. I think that's something that could be workshopped. Now, where are we? Where haven't we been? We haven't been up here. So that's clearly our destination. So let's go up. And yeah, we can also use shortcutting to make that 8 weapon types. Because shortcutting is something that's not as well used in game design as it should be. Although, if I can go ahead and give praise to this game for a second, this game has excellent shortcutting. So, credit where credit is due. How I got this one. I'm probably not going to bother, but I'm trying to remember how I got it. Like, just how. Thank you, Baron. Always appreciate. I suppose you know the question, and you're going to say the usual, and I'm going to say, could you okay, thank you. So I thought about sparking, but there's no room to spark in here, so I'd have to carry it from the left room, and I don't think there's room to spark in the left room either. This is a really short wind-up time. Look at that. That's nowhere near long enough. I can spark underwater now because I have the gravity suit. Let's go towards Kirby block. And 3 and Yakuza Block 1. Got it. Now I'm thinking about it. Because I pretty much have the entire kit. The only thing I'm missing right now is power bombs and one other thing. So I have the kit right now. This is obtainable right now. I don't remember either. If power bombs can launch, then that would be the answer to that one right there. I was just curious. Where am I going? Where am I going? Wrong way. Cool. Remember we were talking yesterday about when a property should end? Whole discussion. My friend Pax and I were talking about that last night, and he brought up an excellent example of a situation in which a property should have ended and didn't, and it was to the detriment of everything. Green Lantern. Now, I know that sounds weird because, you know, it's a DC property, and Lord knows they like to go on and on and on and on and on throughout the endless arrays of the grave, but actually it was a story after Blackest Night. There was one guy, Johns, I want to say, and might have been Jeff Johns. I might be getting my names wrong, forgive me, but either way, he did a really, really solid take and a really solid run, and it ended in a really cool way. I'm not going to spoil for you, but all I'm going to say is Hal Guardians Sinestro, and that's all I'm going to say. And that was a solid end to a solid run of years of that property, and it should have ended right then and there. As you're probably aware by the way I'm saying this, it didn't. Funnily enough, another example of that would be, in comics, would be Spider-Man. Or, more accurately, Peter Parker. How many of you remember when Peter Parker had pretty well put down the cape, metaphorically speaking, and was done, and was retired, and it was actually a really awesome story arc? You probably don't remember that, because it was called The Clone Saga. And instead of that being an awesome, perfect outro to Peter Parker as a character, it turned into The Clone Saga. So that didn't work out as intended, is what I'm trying to say. But for those of you who are not familiar with how the story was going, Parker had effectively retired, hung up the cape, and was doing his own thing, and Ben Reilly, I believe, had continued. He was going to be the new Spider-Man. Completely new character, you know, legacy kind of a thing, generational thing. It was cool. And Parker could go off. He had a wife, he had a child. He had a different life now, and that was like the whole point of that entire story arc. It was really cool. And then it was completely freaking ruined by the nightmare that is the Clone Saga. And yeah, honestly, I've been hesitating to say this for a while, but the MCU probably qualifies there. Don't mistake me, we've had some decent films after Endgame. We have. Credit where credit is due. But the MCU probably should have retired after the Endgame, and they probably should have tried to push something else completely different instead of the current spaghetti approach, which is still failing, depending on which metric you're using. Anyways, all of this is to say that there is a talent and a skill in identifying when a particular work has concluded and following through on that. I don't think Metroid's hit that. I don't think Metroid Dread should be the end of Metroid. I said it last night. I said it yesterday. I think the end of Metroid Dread is the end of Chapter 1. It took a long time to get there, but I think this is the end of Chapter 1. I think that we have plenty more stuff we can do with Samus. Like, we have just begun Samus' story. You know, fair, Blade Cheval. Hard to argue. You know, fair Pillars of Snow, but I'm not going to get into money and greed. I think you all know what money and greed are. I'm just going to say money and greed. I need to come up with like a code word that just means money and greed and then move on. What's like a hotkey, a shortcut word for money and greed, and then we just move on. Anyway, second to last boss. I don't remember how to fight this guy at all. Okay. Speaking of bullet hells. Dimitri. Dimitri. Code word Dimitri. No, she's just flexible, Deckfish. I mean, there's a little bit of magic tech going on here. Magitech, excuse me, but... Yeah, absolutely, Spartan. Or at the very least, they should have done a new thing after Legion. WoW 2 or a completely new story arc. It's worth noting they have done a completely new story arc after Legion. It's called Dragonflight. Okay, I'm just gonna be body blocked here in the corner. Oh my god! Assassin's Creed's a weird one. Because narratively, Assassin's Creed ended with 3. And in terms of gameplay, Assassin's Creed ended with 4. Origins and Odyssey, regardless of what you think of them, are a completely new arc and story. Now that's fine, it's worth noting. I think so, Baron, but I'm a weirdo. Because when I say a story should end, it doesn't necessarily mean that the property should end. There is a distinction. Star Trek VI was absolutely the end of the original series, and should have remained as such, and kind of did. It was the send-off to that story arc, right? But that doesn't mean Star Trek as a property needs to die. Having said that, there is such a thing to be said for a property being allowed to rest for a while. That's actually a really, really important thing that a lot of Dimitris don't actually understand or appreciate. Yeah, Batman Beyond is actually another perfect example. Batman's story was... It never actually finished. It was just kind of functionally concluded. Good afternoon, Jay Palmer. So about those plasma beams doing too little damage there. So now to pay attention again. God damn. I just suck today, apparently. I'm not sure how it's different from any other day, but you know. Good afternoon, J. Paul. Did I already say that? Yeah, no, Devil May Cry 5, that's another good example. Devil May Cry 5 should be the end of Dante's story. We should move on from that. Whether we will or not, we'll see. The team went off to make FF16 and Dragon's Dogma 2, and we'll see if they ever do another Devil May Cry. That is, of course, the other catch, though. As both Dakota and Linerith have already showcased in chat, not everyone's going to agree with where that endpoint is. Everyone agrees that endpoints exist, and should be respected as such. Not everyone's going to agree with where exactly you should end it. Good morning, Evo. God, those things hurt. That's true. It also depends on how well it ends. Although sometimes, and I hate to keep repeating this because it's the life advice that keeps on giving, sometimes you need to accept a loss. Sometimes you need to accept that the end is crap and just kind of roll with that and not try to fix it. Because sometimes you screwed up, live with it. Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of it, Spartan, but that's just me. Well, I beat the last boss, Evo, but now I'm on this boss. It's total garbage, people. No, I don't want to get into it. End statement. Yeah, there's a reason we're pretty much getting rid of the prophets for the most part in the rewrite. At least as they're presented. We have enough godlike aliens in Star Trek, thank you very much. No, we're talking about the Trek rewrite, Evo. Sorry. I feel like not. Crossbow. I forgot the crossbow even existed. Those are, parasites. Ex-parasites, J. Palmer. In canon Trek, the prophets are... I think it's the best description of them, really. Vaguing it up. Metroid Theater would only work if I did it like LTTP, and I don't think that would work the same way. The only reason the LTTP Theater worked is because I added dialogue for all of the bosses in the game. Like, it doesn't really work if Kraid is talking to Samus the entire way through Super, you know what I mean? It is not, Lunarith. Thank you for asking. Probably not. J. Palmer, no. Yeah, it's a sideways bomb jump. So now we can get that item from earlier. Yeah, the only way a Metroid rewrite could work is if Samus is doing functionally a non-stop narration. And I think I've already given my opinion on that. Anubia. As I went through this train, I realized with dread that I was getting very close to the end of the game. Truly, this is a very dreadful Metro. I have good voice directing. I have good voice actors. I disagree fundamentally with the idea of making a Metroid game heavy on narration. I even gave a negative to Other M for that purpose. Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, well, it doesn't matter. Something like Metroid Prime, ironically, would lend itself a lot more towards a theater. Because, you know, there's logs. Quite a few logs, actually. Have a different actor for each different type of log. Because we got the Chozo logs, we got the Space Pirate logs, and we got the computer logs. Adam, probably, technically.
This area, Anubia, is on the planet's surface. You finally made it, Samus. There is still a problem. Destroying the planet will eliminate the X-parasites. But Raven Beak is unlikely to sit idly by as this happens. He will try to escape once he detects the danger. Raven Beak's search for Metroid DNA poses a threat to the galaxy. He will never give up. The odds are still not in your favor, but you must end things here. I am searching for his location. Return here later for an update.
It really is very cool looking, I agree. There is not, Lunarith. I am sorry. I am sure it's a very good show. But outside of time, I have no time for shows, and I am not accepting new shows for streamations anytime soon. I already have 2 months of shows to go through. We might be doing soon. I haven't decided exactly when that's happening yet. I don't know if I'd hate Loki, but I do admit the very premise of Loki is something that I hate, so that's whatever. That's unrelated, though. Ow. Damage health in return. Jesus. Good question, J. Palmer. Not enough information to judge, though. Power washing with screw attack. That actually sounds like fun. There's a whole map. It's covered in goop, and you just... And you're just screw attacking around as you go. I don't know. I always got the impression that while the Metroid Prime had a degree of intelligence, I don't think it ever hit sentience. It felt like it was primarily acting on instinct for the majority of its existence, up to and including, you know, Prime 3. I bet it needs wave beam, TC Maven. And we already saw several waves. The whole game's been doing this. It'll introduce the thing you need before you get it, so you kind of are looking for it. And there's been a bunch of wave beam stuff. So I'm guessing that's next. Really late. Still don't have power bombs, too. That's the other thing. Steam, Plutonia. Could you not, please? Like, you're gonna die just for being in my way. Oh, Ravenbeak totally would have gone after Phazon. And become addicted to it like everything else did. I mean, Phazon addiction goes away once you die, Darkrai. I'm very curious how Prime 2 will score, because of the 3 Primes, I have the least memories of 2. Not the worst, the least. As in, I don't have memories of Prime 2, not really. I remember, like, the intro, finding the Federation troops, you know. I remember the Ing. I remember the second to final boss. I remember the reverse swamp of the light dark world thing. That's interesting. There's a ship visible in the background there. Yeah, the Ing were interesting. A lot more small scale than some of the threats we faced, but that's a good thing. And still very, very terrifying for the scope they had. My earliest video game memory is sitting on my dad's lap playing Pac-Man in one of those pizza parlors. That you probably have no idea what I'm talking about, and that's okay. I don't know, I always got the impression the Ing could never operate off of the planet of 2. Could be wrong about that, I don't know. I actually used to play a lot of games at pizza parlors. In fact, the first time I ever beat Mortal Kombat 1 was in a pizza parlor, and yes, I am proud of that, thank you for asking. Ah. Right. That was 2. Dark right. Pizza parlors exist, but like not in the same way. And local pizza joints are definitely on the downswing, depending on where you're at. So you end up going to like a Pizza Hut and they don't have jack, right? Now, some places still exist. I don't want to be all doom and gloom. Oh. You want to hear something funny, Linaire? This is absolutely true. The first time I ever tried lasagna was because I was reading Garfield comics and I was curious. Come on. Oh, I love lasagna. Like, a lot. Okay, it's the other way around. Looks like Star Trek lore. I remember watching the Garfield show far too often back in the day. The same reason a lot of people make movies regardless of whether or not they sell. They need to keep the industry alive. And by need to, I mean they think they need to. I disagree with that statement personally. I mean, I got into spinach because of Popeye, so what the hell do I know? Seriously. please. A bit clearer than that, please. Okay, cool. We're dead. God damn it. The thing that's funny to me is I would try something because of a game or a show or whatever. But I would only stick with it if I actually liked it. Because I tried a lot of stuff because of that kind of crap. Here's a deep cut for you. How many of you remember Puff the Magic Dragon? It was an old Disney movie, and it actually sucks, but that's not even there. Well, maybe sucks is too harsh, but it certainly hasn't aged well. I used to watch the crap out of the movie. And I started eating, like, I don't know what to call it, like the burnt apples because of that show. Or because of that movie, rather. What I call the show. Baked apples? That's probably a better way to put that. Baked. We'll call them baked apples. Huh. Is this it? Is this my line? Wants me to do it up there. Nah, that was dumb. And that was always kind of a meme thing more than a real thing with Earth. Szechuan sauce, I believe is what it was called. Okay. I think this is it right here. That's just people being stupid, though, in Earth. Sorry, I spit on that entire incident. I believe that's technically the second to last one. But now we have Wave Beam. Woo. Yep, it says 1 of 7 remaining. So, yeah, that is... Well, you'll see. Come on. Here we go. Listen, we need more superpowers in our Federation killbots. Now we can just straight up shoot through everything. Like this. I mean, I think I agree with you, Rex. This is still in the running for my favorite Samus suit in the entire franchise. Okay. We are actually extremely close to the freedom point, believe it or not. Coincidence of palette choice for the original Metroid, Baron. That's... What's your worst story, Blue of Alex? The Freedom Point is the next power-up we get. And it is very far on. It is weird how far into this game our Freedom Point is. Like, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is kind of strange to me. Okay, fine. Die this way, then. I can shoot you through walls! I gotta fight those jackasses soon. So this puzzle threw me for a while until I realized I could just do this to open the door from the other side. Remember that? Oh, let's just stop. Let's try that again. There we go. Ta-da! Yeah, no, there's nothing actually up here. Although, there should be a thing... There it is. Yeah, so that Shine Spark sucks. And that's all I'm going to say about that. We're not doing it. Careful, Samus. Careful. It's a left hand again. It's been the left hand the whole game if you're paying attention. In fact, at the very beginning of the game, she scans her left hand. They don't explain why. I do like how the breathing is visible there, by the way. She is that bothered by what she just did. Congrats, Spartan. Let's see, yeah, tacit confirmation that Ravenbeak has been watching us this entire freaking time. So, one last enemy. Now the actual boss fight instead of the freaking Hemi. Okay, I gotta pay attention That is why that's a negative, by the way. You actually can't kill those guys until you parry them. Do you know that? What happens to their health is their health gets to a certain point, and then you hit the parry window. And it's like, alright, parry, and then you could kill them. But if you don't kill them, then their health just goes back up, and then you do more damage until you hit to the parry. You cannot kill them until you parry them. I don't care for this kind of mechanic in general. But yeah, it's the Kingdom Hearts thing, for those of you not familiar with this. In the Kingdom Hearts series, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2, you actually cannot defeat a boss until you hit it with a finishing move. Which may be like, well, but no, trust me, that's a problem. Oh, I like the fights. I actually enjoy the fights with the Dragoons, legitimately. It's just that final thing is bullcrap. Like, doing a QTE to get rid of his shield, sure, that's a little bonus thing to increase his vul window, and to do some bonus damage to him. That doesn't bother me. Flat out mandating a QTE to kill the guy at all? That's irritating. God damn it! Now, I admittedly suck at the parry mechanic because I keep reacting to the sound and not the flash. That's on me. I'll admit that. It's irritating. Pretty sure it did, J. Palmer. If it didn't, then it will. No, Blue Fusion Bolt. I can actually name a specific boss that you cannot kill without a finishing strike. Cerberus, who last I checked is not actually a member of the Organization 13. I could be wrong. You never know. Also, any fight that you can get Mickey on has the same property. Because Mickey cannot do a finishing move, and therefore Mickey cannot actually finish one of those bosses. You get the health all the way to 1, but until you actually switch back to Sora, you cannot beat that boss. This time, we just absorbed the sucker. Because we have straight up Metroid powers now. Oh, starting with 1 is the correct choice there, Spark. For once. Interestingly enough, we've had Metroid powers the entire game. We're just being a little more overt about them now. Oh yeah, Power Bomb. And believe it or not, this is the freedom point, like right here. It took a minute to get there. Powerbomb does that in this version. It's probably the thing we've been complaining about this whole time is that powerbombs are so weak. This might actually be the single strongest implementation of the powerbombs in the entire franchise. There's actually a fairly large amount of terrain that is specifically designed to be destroyed by powerbombs. I mean, are you trying to tell me that you think power corrupts J. Palmer? It's time to kill J. Palmer for thinking that power corrupts. No, First try. Sorry. I shouldn't have even gone for that. I just wanted to. Yeah, no, that one sucked. I remember that one from last time. Okay. Oh, no. Metroid is not a corruptive power. Metroid is an organism. A created organism, but an organism nonetheless. Well, you know what? Let's see what this does here. It is also very much a screen wipe in this version. Damn. Alright, whatever. Yeah, okay. So.
Uploading data.
Samus, you have manifested a new power. The speed with which you siphon energy is undoubtedly Metroid in nature. The Metroid DNA inside you must have fully awakened, no doubt as a result of the many battles you have fought on this mission.
Clearly my, the plan has been working perfectly.
This tremendous power is the last thing you require to confront Raven Beak. I have detected a fortress in the sky high above Nubia. He must be there. The time has come. Samus, fulfill your destiny.
Sure thing, Adam. I mean, Samus does have a pretty strong moral center. It's probably at least part of the reason why, you know, so many people never understood how little of a chance they had at corrupting her and turning her to their side. Okay, sorry, so, yeah, I apologize, I was misleading. This is the freedom point, and we can now go and sweep the realm and get all the items and blah, blah, blah. But you know what we can also do? I mean, that would be funny if it just let us screw attack up to the boss, right? Time for the final Dragoon fight. Forgot about that. Okay, I'll accept my death. I swear there was a trick you could do to kill these quicker, but whatever. Could be. Game? That's really strange. It wouldn't grapple. Oh, I think I know what happened. I think I clenched it. Come on. Come on, boy. For God's sakes, I hate the parry. Here, kill me, so I can reset my health. That would be funny if they're completely weak to power bombs. There's an instant kill thing. Whatever. God damn it, that's probably what I was thinking of. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Dumb mode engaged. Yes, Sub-Zero. In general. Not counting the primes, of course. Yeah, I've just lost the timing on that. I don't know what is wrong with me. That's so this game, though, isn't it? Yeah, I'm doing perfectly fine. Oh, I have to parry? Then I'm screwed. Stupid second form. It's the spit attack. It's always the spit attack. Ugh. I've got a much more irritating fight coming after this, too. Which I'm just really not really not looking forward to. No, I think this game does the parry mechanic better than Samus Returns. Which is sort of pathetic if you think about it. Anyways. Not just stand up there and do the worst attack in the game, please. Good thing to do. Thanks. Appreciate you. God of War 3 was a really good parry for me, but I'd probably put that at the second best parry for me, personally. Props if you can guess the first best parry for me. Oh, I guess he refilled me. Oh, whatever. Sekiro's a good guess, but is wrong. It is, in fact, Jedi Fallen Order. So, we'll actually be fighting this boss for a while, because this boss sucks. But we're going to go ahead and chop off the guessing game, essentially now. If you haven't gotten your guesses in, this is the time for it. Yeah, I'm really not looking forward to this fight. I hated this fight last time. Like, I had to take a moment to calm down last time, because this fight is just so damn long and so punishing. And if you miss a parry window, screw you, as usual. Oh my god, ask your question, Evil, or I'll hold the entire stream hostage until you do. We're all just gonna sit here. Have a settle, you know. Chill, relax. You know what, I'll play this brand new phone game I just heard of. It's called Raid Shadow Legends. Is that even still going? I mean, I'm sure nobody plays it anymore. You know what, hang on. I guess I could just check. Probably a full quarantine. A cordon situation, Evo. Oh my god, Raid Shadow Legends, it's right there. I am shocked that stupid game is still going. It's so out of date at this point. Yep, I can play Diablo Immortal, the greatest of all phone games. What did I like most about Mortal Kombat 11? I mean, obviously, the story is the easy answer there. But you're probably looking for something specific, so I have to pick one specific... God, that's disgusting, Jay Palmer. That is honestly disgusting. That offends me. And people wonder. People are all surprised. Why are good games not getting made? Why is AAA getting worse? Why is Mobage so terrible? Why are gambling mechanics so tolerated? It's because Raid Shadow Legends made $1.5 billion last year. That's why. That's not even a joke. That's not hyperbole. That's not exaggeration. That's why. The amount of money that trash makes is disgusting. And to be very clear, well, obviously there is a lot of blame to be put on the developers, and I want to say that they're innocent in all this. That's our fault. The fact that we blow that much money on that junk, we did this. God, that pisses me off. Just, God, that pisses me off. I don't think a cordon would actually work now that I think about it, Evo. All that would do is starve the Metroids out slowly. Maybe... God, I don't know. That's a tough one. What would work? I mean, we could just exterminate them. But obviously the goal is to not wipe out an entire species. Right? Like, this isn't exactly their fault. I think attempting communication would probably be the goal. Trying to figure out some way to actually reach out and communicate. I mean, they're not sentient, but we can communicate with dogs, right? So... Oh yeah, BetterHelp can go directly to hell. Just directly to hell. I hope those people do not enjoy the rest of their lives. Anyway, so... Yeah, I think we're good on that. I'm going to go and lock down the guessing game. And then I'm going to hurt my hands for probably about an hour. Anyone think it's going to be shorter than an hour? This is going to be mean. I'm really not looking forward to this fight. Oh, this is going to suck. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's just get it over with. Let's just get it over with. Yeah, you want to get in a guess and how many attempts it'll take me? It took me forever last time, Jay Palmer. They are worse than unethical. So, like, a lot of companies are unethical, right? Most companies are unethical to some extent or another. BetterHelp is trying to sell you mental health help. So it just kind of bypasses everything else and is just so much worse than so many of the other scams out there. Because people who need help are reaching out to these scam artists. Yeah, it's a for-profit mental health system, which really is all I need to say about that. I should have just led with that. Yeah, that's worse than the gambling crap, and that's worse than everything else, really. It's just absolute garbage. Come on, game. All right. Help me keep track.
Uploading data.
It appears your Metroid DNA has caused you to become a Metroid. Ordinarily, this would have happened immediately after the DNA transplant. Your Thopha genes must have slowed down the process. They were the only tribe capable of controlling the Metroids. Though you possess their DNA, you are not a Thopha. Your physical prowess suggests that you must also possess Machin DNA. Metroids are programmed to identify Machin as enemies. This suggests one thing to me. It is very probable that your metamorphosis occurred as a result of Raven Beak's attack. His presence awakened the Metroid's killer instinct.
Well, yeah, like his dick was so big, it awakened your metamorphosis.
Since then, your metamorphosis has accelerated. It can no longer be controlled. You are now a Metroid, Samus Aran. Your very existence poses a grave threat to the galaxy. However, there is no need to fear. You can still contribute to galactic peace. You need only use your new powers correctly. You have followed my instructions faithfully so far. Continue to do so. It's that simple. I consider your performance here on ZDR highly satisfactory. As I hoped, it has even awakened your Metroid powers. I was right to let you live during our first encounter. That one glimpse you showed told me everything. Submit and offer up your power. My plan is the only way to bring order to the galaxy. Fulfill your destiny, Samus. This is an order. Disobedience will not be tolerated.
No hesitation. Notice he's pretty much got her cannon on his arm, too. Okay, so, couple things real quick. I didn't see that twist coming the first time around. I should have, but I didn't. I want to defend myself a little bit on why. And the answer why is because I didn't really know Metroid Fusion. I'd only played Metroid Fusion the one time in bits and pieces. So all of the clues and hints of Adam, you know, the machine Adam and all of that, completely flew right over my head, because I didn't even really process or know what he was. Having just played Fusion a few days ago, this is a lot more obvious in hindsight, and in fact they do a lot to foreshadow it properly. Players for a while have tried to guess exactly when he replaced Adam, but in fact, we know that the answer to that 100%. It was immediately. The very first conversation we had with Adam, when we first went down to the planet, is with Ravenbeak and not Adam. So it's been him the entire game, not counting the intro. The last time we actually heard the real Adam was when we were descending in the elevator and he said, "We will have trouble keeping in contact." So that's it. Yeah, exactly. Bladeable. Other M probably didn't help anything here. Let's see. The other thing I wanted to mention is I find this whole sequence of events hilarious because, once again, this plays perfectly into his ego and his stupidity. Because all he cares about is making her submit or killing her, and from his perspective, it's win-win. After all, there's no way she can beat him. And we know that because I'm about to dial like 50 billion times, so let's have some fun with this. I don't even remember all his attacks, so we gotta spend some time. Okay, so we've got beam attack. God, I don't remember any of this crap. Okay, so that's a triple. I'm also missing some E-tanks from last time. Last time I did this with full health. So this might suck a little bit more than it did last time. Lock on. Takes so long to lock on. That's one. Just trying to remember his patterns here a little bit. This is very much a memorization fight. Which, extremely unready for that. As usual, got a parry. I'd anticipated that time. Honestly, no, I don't, Trihex. That's two. What's funny is he hits less hard than several of the previous bosses. But he's a little harder to dodge. And he's got a lot of attacks. He's got, to my knowledge, 3 phases, I want to say. No checkpoints between them, of course, because screw you. Really hate how that keeps happening. I'm just going to Google that because I don't feel like dying more. Got it. Of course it would be a parry thing. What else would it be? Ugh. I'm sorry for people who love this fight. I hate this fight. There's nothing here for me. This is just boring. Trial and error until you figure out the specific pattern required to progress. Not interesting. Well, that's irritating, but sure. Okay. I don't know what you want from me there, game. Well, obviously the game wants me to die. And then just repeat? Really? Okay. The second lost boss in Cyber Shadow was bullcrap. And can you guess why? That's right, it's lack of mid-mission checkpoints. We've damaged his armor. Phase 2 of 3. I don't remember any of these attacks. If we get to 11, we're done. This will stop being worth my time. I'm just gonna say that. I don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. This fight sucks. I don't know what you want from me. It is a colossal waste of time. He has 700 million billion trillion health. And he requires to do everything perfectly across a huge period of time. And there's no checkpoints, so if you screw it up, you have to do the whole thing over again. How the hell do you defeat him that quickly, Darkrai? Like, that's insanity. This doesn't count, by the way. I'm just doing a quick mental reset. Could you kill me faster, please? Thank you. And then Raven Beak clones a bunch of Metroids, loses control of them, because he has no way to control Metroids, and dies. Oh. No, that doesn't count, DZ Man, but I said that. I was just getting a mental reset in. I started misremembering which attack was which, and that was just death. Because you need to remember every attack perfectly, and then pair them. So, I'm sorry. I will try. There's only one way I could be non-negative right now. No, Yura. Why would any of us have a CRT? Why would anybody have a CRT? No. But obviously I understand why some people have CRTs. It's because they're insane! But, we do not have a CRT now. I'll be right back. Wait, Smash players like CRTs? Why? No judgment, just curious. Really? Chief Palmer. Wow. Yeah, we'll walk up to Ravenbeak and be like, dude, Ravenbeak, your dick is so big. It's so big. It's so big. Like, I could see it from down below. I could see it on the way up. It's crazy. No, I don't remember what CRT stands for. A button delay. That's hilarious. God, yeah, I understand. I think that's the way I want to phrase that, that some people prefer CRTs. That's pretty much straight up black licorice to me. Not coffee, black licorice. I do not process that. Like, if I wanted that kind of eye cancer back in my life, no thank you. You know? Well, some people I know prefer it because it looks better, like Yura. Some people prefer it because of latency, which I was just told about. If there's any other reasons, Yes, I'm gonna mute myself again. Ask, I don't know, Luna. Ask them. I think it's eye cancer. It literally hurts my eyes. Don't look at me. Honestly, ditto, Spartan. Oh, sorry, I was supposed to mute myself. I forgot. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I suck. I'm worthless, I'm terrible. No, that's cool too. Yeah, a lot of emulators have a CRT option, which are eye cancer, but I know some people prefer them. Phase 2, again. I do not know what to do to dodge that attack yet. Damn it! Yeah, it's just a damage tax at the moment because I don't know what to do about it. That's a death. I'll count that as a death. Guess what I get to do? The entirety of Phase 1 again! If there's a way to regain energy in Phase 2, I don't know about it. Phase 1 is the recovery phase, ironically. I don't know how many times I died last time, although I did have more health then, so... probably less times. I hate how his hurt box, like his collision box changes when he's in that mode. I even get why they do it, I just don't agree with it. He just bounces you. See, you actually can't dash through him while he's doing it. Are we done here? See, I enjoy that process too, Rex, and I'd enjoy that process a lot more if this boss had mid-mission checkpoints. And the more I think about it, the more I think that that is the single thing which is making me not enjoy this fight. Having to redo Phase 1 over and over and over and over and over and over and over just to practice Phase 2, never mind Phase 3, is not fun to me. It's a waste of my time. It gets old when you've already got it and you're just trying to get back to the freaking Phase 2 that you want to actually practice. Like, I'm still practicing Phase 2 because I haven't figured out how to dodge all his attacks yet, because I have to go through Phase 1 every freaking time I want to do it. Oh, god damn it. I just didn't have the reflexes that time. I was even trying to do it. Failed. Yeah, there's also a phase 3. And that's the problem. I actually don't mind this fight. In fact, I would probably really like this fight if it let me practice it properly. If I could actually be like, okay, hang on, I figured out phase 1, woo, and then I'm done with it, because I've done it. Because I have successfully figured out how to do phase 1, and now I'm ready to move on to phase 2 and start learning this phase. Instead of having to do each of this crap over and over and over with a boss who has way too much health. Over and over and over again, just to get back to the point where I can actually start practicing the phase I'm actually on. I did a better job of typing that up in my notes, but the point being, this fight sucks, triple negatives, moving on. Yeah, exactly, Darkrai. It's so easy to program those kind of phase transitions to the point where you can have mid-mission checkpoints. God's sakes. Ori and the Blind Forest 2 has a mid-mission checkpoint in mid-boss transition. Not a different room, just mid-transition. Just, oh yeah, you're in phase 2 now, here you go. This is a solved equation. Sonic Forces has mid-mission checkpoint. Why did that not shoot? Why does this take so long to log on? Phase 3. Rips off his own wing, because that's just the kind of guy he is. I have no idea what phase 3 does, so that's cool. Go! Okay. No, that's cool. I don't know what to do about that. Okay. That's interesting. No, that's cool too. I'm dead. I'm dead. That's just... And you see the problem. Like, okay, that would have been cool if it's like, okay, now I can figure out what that attack does and how to deal with his secondary dash and how to deal with his charge attack. But I don't get to do that. I don't get to do that. I get to do phase 1 again, and then phase 2 again. And then I can start practicing phase 3. I never really realized until I was doing a review of Mario 3 just last year. And I realized why it did, I realized why Mario 3 has never been in the top Marios for me. And it never processed for me until I was going through it this most recent time. And the answer is, it doesn't have mid-mission checkpoints. There are no mid-mission checkpoints in Mario 3. Every stage you have to do the whole stage in one run, or you start over from the beginning. And I never really processed how much of a thing that was for me. Because, and this is probably just me, and I'm probably stupid, and I know I'm going to get negative comments about this, because I already have, but I don't care. I've rethought and rethought this opinion many, many times. I really value my time. And that means I really value the ability to quick save, or to have a checkpoint going fairly regularly while going through a boss, or an encounter, or a level. It's why mid-mission checkpoints and save design are almost universally positives to gameplay when those are an option, when there's something that I can do as a player in order to be able to be like, okay, I have successfully managed to get through, phase 1 of a fight, or the first part of a level, or through a particularly difficult platforming section, or through a really difficult encounter. Save. Did it. Locked in. Cool. I can feel good about that. I can feel satisfied about that, right? I can be like, yes, that was awesome. I did it. move on. Being forced to go back and redo it doesn't feel good to me. If I want to go replay the game, I will. I love replaying games. I love going back through sections that I enjoy playing. Yeah, there you go. Blue F Alex. Thank you for getting ahead of the curve, Blue F Alex. I love being able to replay games when I choose to and when I want to, not when I'm forced to. So this is, once again, just a waste of my time. And that's probably the biggest reason why this pisses me off so much. I'm just screwing up all over the place. See you around, Dr. Winter. I missed the timing, so I was just kind of waiting at that point. God damn it. Wrong button. Wrong button. Yeah, honestly, I had pretty much the same issue with the last boss of Cyber Shadow. I would still rather refight that boss than this guy. As you say, it's nowhere near as bad as this nonsense. Like, please keep in mind, for all these pseudo QTEs and cutscenes, I am actually doing real damage to the boss and really moving his health bar, which I point out because, you know, I'm explaining this badly, but the point is that the complaint that, oh, he doesn't have too much health, falls completely on its face when, even when doing everything correctly, he still just has way too much health, and you still just have to do these things over and over again. Just one phase one, for God's sakes. This is, I can't even. Every shot I'm doing here is actually doing real damage to his health bar. That actually exists. So phase two. God damn it, wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. Yeah, I'll never understand the no health bar thing. I've heard developers argue strongly that bosses should not have health bars, and I've never agreed with that. Granted, I'm speaking as a player, but, you know, whatever. The argument boils down to the fact that it removes information from the player. God damn it! And therefore increases the tension of a fight. Because you have no idea how much health the boss has left. God damn it. Keep losing jump inputs. And of course there's no recovery in Phase 2. There are different ways to do health bars, that's true. Instead of literally telling us this guy has 156 health, you could have colors. I should know. The Metroid series does that a lot. Super did that. I'm pretty sure other Metroids did too, but I can't remember right now off the top of my head. So, now I can figure out Phase 3. Tip, by the way, would not have thought of that. Know what that attack is. What the hell is that nonsense? What really irritates me the most about the mid-mission checkpoints thing in this fight, let's ignore all the games for a second, just here. I would probably really like this fight if I could do all 3 phases by themselves, you know? If I could have that moment of victory and then move on to the next encounter. This would probably be triple positive boss design, if not for that. Oh god, FF13. Don't even get me started on that crap. A game that will probably go in the awful block when we start doing that. Still don't know how to dodge that attack. Haven't had time to practice it. Yep. Okay, yep, that's just a health tax. I'm just gonna accept that. Oh, I should have parried that. Whatever. At least these give health and ammo back. So Phase 3, we have some kind of recovery. Wish I knew what his health was. Oh shoot! Damn it! I'm screwing around more. Hey, you think I didn't see what you were doing? Huh? Did we make it? Ah! God damn it! God damn you, game! Guess what? He just healed. For those of you unaware of how this works. And now we gotta push his health down again because mandatory parry. Hate that crap. There. Screw you and your stupid face. Time! Except not really. There's actually quite a bit of gameplay after this. 7 deaths. Piece of crap. I do like how they keep showing the crack we made in his armor. Well, you said it, Dad. Smashed right through the hole we made with the super missile in the intro. I love this cutscene so much. We start draining so much power, we drain the power of the entire ship. And he completely loses it. So poised. So thoroughly sure of himself the whole game. Until finally something goes past him. Finally something shows that he is not invincible. And his reaction is to flip the hell out. And then it even gets better. Check this out. So, he decided that we have to use the Metroids as a weapon, and directly led to the X-Parasites being freed from SR-388, infecting and destroying his entire tribe, and then being loosed on this planet right now. All three of those were directly his decisions. Why is that so amusing? Karma's a bitch, ain't it? Shoot. Okay, there we go. Power's everything. I might have actually been too slow because I accidentally let go of the button. Nope, we're good. Goodbye, you waste of everything. You goddamn moron. And I love that rather than absorbing it, which she could have done, she just eradicates it thoroughly and utterly, erasing him forever. So anyways, now we have the hyper beam. That's cool. Woo-hoo. Not quite as much of a hyper beam moment as the last one, but it is still a hyper beam moment. It still counts. Come on, game. There we go. No way. Yeah, we don't have a health bar. The only way to die here is to fall behind. I do think the beam looks pretty freaking awesome compared to Super's. I'll give you that one. It doesn't play quite as well, as weird as that sounds. You've probably seen I'm having some issues with it. But yeah. And yeah, considering we just absorbed an entire ship and effectively another Chozo armor worth of power, yeah, we probably should have a crap ton of energy to spare right now. Absolutely, Dark Prince Raven. We need to embrace the fact that she's gone full Metroid. Especially considering what's about to happen. Time.
So, you will drain the ship of its energy.
Now, there's a bunch of logical loopholes here, but I love this. I kind of don't care. It's just such a nice scene. Parasites are mimics. We've said that from the beginning. And Thoha DNA and knowledge is how you control the Metroids. I'm with it. Oh, and by the way, 5. 5 planets, von Falkenstein. That's our 5th one. Ether Phase... Oh, hang on. Ether Phase, ZBs, SR388, and ZDR. In order. How many individuals can claim to have destroyed 5 planets? I don't think, like, Palpatine can claim that over in Star Wars. Oh, I don't remember, Jay Palmer. You'd have to check the VOD. Very dedicated Spore players. Or Master of Orion 2. Points if you get it. Ugh. Yeah, Tarkin's just like, damn, girl. Chill a little. See you around, Devo. Enjoy sleeps. I think a halo would count as a planet, right? I think we could swing that. How would you do it, Dakota? Because my thought is Prime 3. Prime 3 actually had a really cool mechanic with the corruption thing. And the Phazon beam. That was actually legit. I anticipate that will score well when we get there. That's interesting, Dakota. I was actually thinking, since we are, I don't think it is either of us. Since we have the ability to drain, maybe you could have a hyper beam bar, and as you drain enemies, and it's specifically drain, not just kill with your beams, your missiles, whatever, but you have to actually do a drain, right? In order to a drain attack or a drain finisher or something. Not the paramechanic, something. Fills the beam, fills the bar. And I would make it gradient. You could spend it at any point in time, right? You don't have to wait till the bars fill and then you shoot it and now it's down. You can just spend Hyper Beam bar at any time gradiently. To just... And there's probably other ways, right? Other specific things, because you could play with the level design with that, like you were talking about. Play with level design for, like, there's this one area where there's tons and tons of crap in the background, and you could drain those in order to fill the beam up. Or you could just sit on a specific thing and just channel it for a while, like you say, to make a defense scenario. Drag an enemy to you instead of going to them. There's a lot of stuff you could play with there. Like, imagine a boss that you could either fight where he is, or you could do like a running fight, like a retreating fight, or you could pull the boss to a specific area and just stop right there and hold them, and hold the line against the boss. You know, different ways to deal with it. So, KCD. Kingdom Come Deliverance. No, I didn't play any of the DLC. Sorry. Am I hyped for 2? 2 is kind of off my radar right now, but it's probably going to be good. Hopefully. See, our time is probably going to be absolutely terrible here. Yeah, 7:33. Ugh. Terrible. Where's my death? 77 deaths. 47% items. That's funny. There you go. Terrible gamer. 0 out of 10. Zero Mission exists. Samus Return exists. But I want to show you something really quick. Because we unlocked all these last time. So this is all the story stuff that you didn't really get last time. Just to show it off really quick. So this is Raven Beak taking down that first Emmy, the one that was damaged. Now, this is a little bit of an arse pull, and again, the Emmys having plot armor is ridiculous, but the fact that Ravenbeak could take down an Emmy, yeah. Here's them securing the Kraid, or a Kraid, or whatever, I don't know. Like I said, we have no idea what this thing is exactly, but we know that this thing was secured here before the Machina were destroyed, because those are actually Machina, not Cyber Machina. That's important, because that means this happened, these events right here happened, before the events of Super. So keep that in mind. Speaking of which, there's Z... Oh, God, I wrote down the name of the damn thing. Z something. Z57 being experimented on. This is what Ravenbeak would do to anyone who'd dissent. I wasn't actually kidding. He would strip you of your armor and your clothing, and he would feed you to a creature alive. Because Ravenbeak is, he's a very kind, fatherly kind of a figure. This is, again, the Machina just being all warrior-like. They're so cool. They're so badass. We're so strong. So this... so the timeline shifts a little bit here. So there's Ravenbeak and his Machina, and one of the Machina... Now, this is kind of subtle, but if you look... In case you don't understand what the gloop is, the eye gives it away. That is an X-Parasite Machina. This happened during the events in between 1 and 2, aka during the events of the Primes. So, after, massacring all the Thoha, one of his troops got infected, so he sealed them all away, and they all died. There's the end of that tribe. So now there's just 2, a grand total of 2 Chozo left alive that we know of, and reprogramming the Beak and giving it the instructions to get Samus. Also, Excellion Star Corporation. And this is his robot one, so you can see the difference, and you can actually tell that there's just armor there now. And the gold one that we fought at the end. So this is his grand army, a bunch of bots. And then we have a bunch of just shots of, like, the franchise here. Interesting who gets what thing. Of course, we have the two fathers on the sides and the mother in the middle. Which is, you know, kind of dismissing her actual father, who's just got a little bit of screen time, back into her right there. I do like how the Metroid Queen is here. Ridley is there. There's Kraid. We've got the Zabesians, the pirates. And yeah, then we've looped. And we only got this ending reward because I didn't feel like beating the game twice more on hard in order to get all the ending slides. But you just get these things. You get slides for the different games. Visual styles for the games. And that's it. Boop. Actually, was the baby... I didn't even look. I didn't even look. Was the baby there? There was a Metroid. There's actually a lot of Metroids, but considering there's one Metroid hovering right around Samus there, right behind her, that's probably supposed to be the baby. Sure. We'll go with that. Yeah, notice the only father they don't mention here is her human father. Which makes sense, because the games have barely even acknowledged the fact that she is an orphan. No, nothing really from Fusion here, other than Adam himself. And even that's kind of an asterisk. Man, I don't want to date Samus. She'll blow up the Earth. I'll be like, so, Samus, do you like video games? And she'll be like, yeah, I like video games. And it'll go well. And then in the middle of the date, some horrible nightmare creature that we haven't even seen before will infect me, and she'll be forced to kill me. And then she'll be forced to blow up the planet. And there you go. The end of Earth. Let's not. Let's just skip past that. Yeah, sure, kill Samus. Uh-huh. Yeah, why don't I try something a little bit easier to do? Like eating the sun. Oh no, the Necromorphs are showing up. I don't know, did you see the giant hole in Popstar, Talia? Just think about it. I mean, that's the first thing I ever do whenever I land on a planet for the first time. Immediately, get your planet-destroying bomb hooked up. I'm ready to go. Listen, I would never do anything against humans. I mean, you know, my people that are totally humans. We're totally cool. We're cool. There's no need to destroy this planet. Everything's fine. You're worried too much. Okay, so... one more cutscene. Put that up to 4. Puts that up to 1, and that puts that up to 3. She's looking for the Death Star plans. She doesn't need the Death Star plans. Sorry. It is a nice picture. That's why I'm just leaving it there, PM Triox. I'm trying to do the audit as fast as I can, I swear. Well, it's funny you say that, Jaded Font. They did a lot of really good marketing for Metroid Dread. They did a build-up, they did releases, they showed gameplay. I talked about this during the lead-up to Metroid Dread. I obviously have issues with this game, but I still love this game to death, and I'm still very glad that not only is it a good game, but also that it's sold extremely well. The reason why is because the Metroid series historically has not sold very well. And if, as I think I've shown over the past couple of weeks, a lot of that is because Nintendo just has never properly supported the Metroid series, except for one time, which was Super. When they finally went back and actually supported the franchise properly, with, well, okay, Super and Prime, we're not going to go there. With Dread, lo and behold, the game sold bonkers well, because they actually put proper studio support and marketing into it. Go figure. I mean, it's funny, because Prime was interesting. Miyamoto himself threw a lot of weight into Prime. I think that's one of the reasons it did as well as it did. Don't mistake me, Prime's a good game, but Miyamoto personally threw weight into that, as I talked about. I haven't really talked about yet. Like, not a lot of people know, Prime 1 kind of became a pet project for Miyamoto because he was one of a team of people who went over to Retro to see what they had. This was before they were ever working on a Metroid at all, it's worth noting. And he looked at what Retro had and he said, wow, this is all trash. What have you been doing with all our money? And the answer was Jeff Spangenberg. If you never heard of that person, good. But as a direct consequence of that, he saw one of the games they were working on, which was called Action Adventure. And he looked at that and said, there's some potential there. And you know Miyamoto, right? Like, I have some issues with Miyamoto, but I'll always have respect for him for having a unique talent in pushing what hasn't been done before. He likes to push the envelope when it comes to game design. And a lot of times it doesn't work. But he saw Action Adventure, the game they'd been working on, and he said, that's a Metroid game. And everyone's like, what? No. This is like a first-person action, like adventure game. No, that's a Metroid game. So Miyamoto kind of ended up taking charge of that whole project and being the direct go-between for Retro Studios and what was left of their management staff and Nintendo when it came to working on that. So, yeah, Metroid Prime had decent backing because it had Miyamoto himself backing it. Go figure. Is Miyamoto a good person? I've never heard anything saying otherwise. He definitely has... I'm trying to think what to call it. He has that thing where it's his way or the highway, basically. And if you push back against him, he'll shut you down pretty hard. It's not quite ego, because he's more than willing to listen to other people. Many times he has shown that he is willing to listen to other people and to get feedback and buy-in from the rest of the studio. And he always gives credit to other people as well. He likes to push credit off of himself. But when he's made a decision, you're sticking with it, the end. And it's really hard to convince him otherwise. I wouldn't at all, Maz. Wouldn't even try. Don't even explain it. Super didn't explain it. Mega Man doesn't explain it. We're not explaining it. Don't just skip over it completely. Oh yeah, insert the joke. I forgot to mention the joke. So we finally are playing as Metroid. It's okay, the title of the series isn't invalid, even though the Metroids are now extinct, because there is one Metroid left. Are you gonna type your question, Ross? I haven't noticed you say it. Or are you pulling an Evo when you're asking if you can ask? Don't do that. Don't ask if you can ask. Do I think Zero Mission gets across the feeling of dread and isolation that Metroid 1 does? No, J. Palmer. Other M happens before fusion. No, Mr. Red. That's true. We talked about a potential stealth thing. We also talked, something that would be very hard to design and program, but would be brilliant if they did it. Imagine if the damage you could do would be substantial. Like, imagine if you start using missiles, or super missiles, or power bombs, or the dash attack, that you start actually damaging the terrain in a permanent way. In a way that can cause damage to facilities and potentially people and civilians. And so, you know, you are encouraged, nay requested, to not use your abilities, to not use your kit. It's still there. You can still pull it out when you want to and when you need to, but give the option to the player to hold back in order to not damage the terrain. Now, there's a lot of things you could play with that. Obviously, you could have a, you know, no damage % kind of a thing, and keep track of the damage you've done to civilians and to terrain throughout the course of the game. So a 0% thing could be a goal you could reach and unlock certain endings. And of course, that could be its own challenge run. You can also, if you wanted to be really mean about it, lock upgrades. So if you decide to not go 100%, then make it so that, like, if you damage a certain corridor, you'll never be able to access that one missile upgrade over there. Things like that. Now, if we were going to go really crazy with this, it would be a gradient thing. Let me explain what I mean. Let's say you're in a room and there's a boss, and this boss is very weak to super missiles. But any super missile that misses the boss and hits the wall does damage to the wall instead of the boss. And the wall has a health bar. Now that health bar is fine until it's emptied. At that point, that counts as structural damage. That counts as a fail state, right? So you've got a little bit of wiggle room. And the best part about that kind of a concept is then you could play with that. You could actually have optional difficulty modes and difficulty toggles to change how much health the terrain has. So if you want to make it so that it's a lot more forgiving in how much damage you could do to the surrounding terrain, you could do that. And if you want to make it so you can't do any damage at all, that every room and every corridor and every person has 1 health, you could do that. There's a lot of things you could play with this. Dark Prince Revan has another idea here that I was about to get into, believe it or not. Imagine if the more damage you do, the more the Federation starts to respond to you. Not the bad guys in the Federation as a whole. You start damaging their space stations, they're going to have to respond with their military forces, and they're going to have to deal with a whole lot of other people. And that can escalate. And of course, since those are civilians, technically, not civilians, that's the wrong word, but they're non-combatants, they're not enemies. So you start killing your allies, or avoiding them. You get it. There's a lot you could play with there. There's a lot of way you can make that fluid, too. So it's not just a hard binary screw you, right? I think that would be extremely cool. So, you know what? There you go. There's your answer. I'll give credit to Takoida and everyone in chat for that one. That's how you explain the loss of kit. You don't. There is no loss of kit. You just shouldn't use it. Dread and isolation in Metroid 1. God. Let me think about that. Because, like, Dread and isolation are not things I usually associate with Metroid 1. So I gotta change my mind state a little bit here. See, the thing is, when I think of Zero Mission, I think almost entirely from a gameplay axis, because, you know me. And I suppose I could just check my own notes on the matter. I would say the main time that Zero Mission does that is during the stealth sequence towards the end, which I know isn't really what you're asking about. So, I suppose my answer would be no, then. If we are to presume that Metroid 1 has that vibe and feeling, then Metroid Zero Mission does not. In Zero Mission, you are a bounty hunter here on a mission. And, you know, it's much more gameplay-y. The biggest creature in Metroid? I think Phantoon actually is the largest creature in Other M that we've ever seen in the franchise. Kraid is the runner-up, though. Hello, Evo. Doing the final run right now. Doing some comparison notes. Oh, right. According to the wiki, it's Phantoon. Specifically, the Other M Phantoon. But, sure. How much that even counts is... Alright, I'm hurrying, I'm hurrying. Or rather, I'm not hurrying. I mean, I'm hurrying. But I'm not hurrying, well, hurrying, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm a little tired of that song. Let's pause that, shall we? No. There it is. There you go, Yura. Just for you. God, please no Dead Space in my Metroid, please. We have enough of that. Well, okay, we don't have enough of that, but still, let it be over there in its own bubble, away from everything else. Who was asking about the controls? Because I think AM2... No, Flood! AM2R won the number 2 slot there. But Dread just crushed everything in controls. My God. I don't want horror in my Metroid, period, Spartan. We've never had horror in Metroid. I'd like to keep it that way, if that's okay.
The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace.
I mean, the Flood are already reality warpers. I don't think Metroid matters at that point. Nah, that'd be interesting. Batman's like, oh, I've got this. And then a Metroid just grabs him and kills him in seconds. And it's really funny, because, like, Batman is out doing this really public thing, right? Like, he's doing this I'm gonna defeat the Metroid. It'll be cool, guys. And then Batman just dies right there on national TV. And it's like, he's not actually dead. No, he's actually dead. He is very dead. He stays dead. He turns to ash in front of everybody. Nobody would believe it. That's the best part. Nobody would believe it. But he is actually dead. If I ever write a Batman story, I'm going to kill Batman just because nobody will believe it. And they'll just keep waiting for him to come back. And he never will. Because he's dead. I don't like tragedies. I just like Batman dying and staying dead. Let him stay dead. God damn it. God, it pisses me off every time he dies and comes back. Spoiler, it's happened a lot. It's happened recently, even. God, if you're gonna kill someone, let them stay dead. Jesus Christ. Sick of that crap. This is one of 3... Wait. Nah, never mind. Change my mind, change my mind. Sorry, Evo. I apologize. I don't even want to get into that, J. Palmer, if that's okay. Not a fan, you know. See you around, Dan Kiddo. Have a good one. I'm up to the P's now. Replayability. Perfect, Toothor. Now here's my thought, okay? Let's abolish continuity and constantly kill off characters and bring them back over and over and over, as if they never died. Each episode exists in its own predefined universe, and nothing connects across anything else. I've got a perfect title for it, too. We're going to call it Twilight Zone. I always find it funny that TOS was originally supposed to be more like Twilight Zone until basically everyone on the staff, including actors and directors, kept pushing back against that concept and wanted there to be a degree of continuity. And the executives kept being like, but why would you want continuity? And it was because it was so normal to not have continuity like that back then. It was really funny. No, I think we have too much bad writing in TV, J. Palmer. As much as I am pro-continuity, and I am, what I really am is pro-good writing. That's what matters to me. I've actually noticed a weird trend in the last about a decade or so where a lot of studio executives seem to think that just by adding continuity, a show immediately becomes better. It doesn't. There's a reason why external continuity is something we can give a negative to when it comes to our reviews. If they screw it up, you know. Also true, Eva. Very good point. I think I got that rep as being the continuity guy just because I kept hammering that button during the Trek videos, and a lot of people found me through the Trek stuff. So, you know, pro continuity. Pro good writing. I don't think this is going to beat Super, but that is a very solid score right there. Let me start doing some math here. Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain, but I bet some of you understand what I mean when I say, whenever I see a show or a movie or a game that just has really, really, really good writing, it just kind of clicks in a way that nothing else does. And it's just kind of like, I just get so much more into it, you know? Holy crap, they're really nailing it. That's so awesome. I don't know how else to describe it. Yeah, speaking of which, Thor, before I answer your question, I'm guessing you're commenting on the fact that Jaina had that weird line, like that actually out-of-place line of, "This is beyond the Horde and Alliance. This concerns everyone in Azeroth." And I remember what Pax and I just did that quest a couple nights ago, and we both rolled our eyes at that, like, really? But then I started laughing. He's like, what? Because they put that in there in order to make it clear to people that, no, we're not going back to the HVA. It's dead. It's dead and gone. It's dead and gone. Moving on. That's a really good score. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. So I'm looking at... So, okay, this is the first... I've deliberately done something this time around. I've deliberately decided to not look at the score of the previous time we covered this game until right now. I didn't want to be affected by my previous thoughts on the matter. And, well, if I'm being honest, it was also kind of a test for myself to see if I have faith in my own review capacity, which I obviously do. So, yeah, a good experiment, and faith renewed. The golden number did change, not by that much. It did go down. But check this out. This is hilarious. The original story score was 47. The new one is 48. The original gameplay score was 60. The new one is 58. So, plus 48 to story. Let's cover the whole thing here. Let's do this. How do I want to do this? Give me a sec. Let me build up to this. I apologize for the delay, because I'm going to kind of cover the whole series today, not counting the primes, obviously. Nobody cares about the primes, obviously. Did my opinion change? Actually, not quite. Or more accurately, yes and no. Or I guess just yes and yes. I'm sorry, that sounds confusing. Let me explain that a little bit. Something I've noticed in about the last year or so. It's been about 11 months at this point. Is that when I go back through something I've already covered, my opinion doesn't alter so much as it gets more precise. So, give me a sec. I have the perfect way to explain this. If I can find it. I may have to make it. You know what? No, this is perfect. This is perfect. Now, I know this has nothing to do with any of this, but this just gets it across so perfectly. So give me one moment, please. So this is a chart that explains sample rates when it comes to audio design, right? Now, the curve is the same, right? There's no difference in the curve. but the one on the right is just higher detail. It's the same curve. It's getting across the same image, but because the camera was zoomed in more, because there's more precision there, you could see the variance between the two. And that has been something I've been encountering a lot lately. That's something that has been interesting, and that's how I feel a lot when we do these particular audit runs, is my opinion doesn't really change in the strictest sense of the word. Instead, it gets just more refined, as our Spruce just mentioned in chat. But speaking of, let me give you the big numbers right now, because I know you're tired of waiting. 48 to story. That's, whoops. That's wrong. There we go. That's 4.54 pluses per hour, which is really, really high density. And 100% ratio, and that is 58 to gameplay, which is 5.49 pluses per hour, which is, again, really high density. Super being the outlier notwithstanding, 5 pluses per hour is crazy high. That's almost as high as Soten. And that is a 78% ratio, which gives us our golden number of... Drumroll, please. $200... 96.53. So, Plutonia wins by virtue of guessing the least. No one else guessed anywhere near that far down. What's really funny is that isn't much of a change, as we already talked about. Not really. And that's still... I like I was like, oh, that sucks. Please keep in mind, that's still a 300 score. Which is bonkers high. That is insanely bonkers high. But if you give me a moment, maybe I can help elucidate a little bit here. So that was 58, 106. And then 6.53. I mean, the game does so much right, honestly. Let me do this properly. I love doing paperwork. It's all I care about, really. Like, if I could just do paperwork every day, oof, that's just life, right? That's living. That's what that is. Okay, so kind of jury rigging this a little bit to get rid of the Prime series. Parry, difficulty, and boss design, Blade of all. Pretty much the same complaints I had last time, if I'm being honest. I just didn't give them negatives last time. Oh yeah, Plutonia, you only picked one thing. So, pick 2 more things, or I will pick for you. Apologize, it's taking so long. I'm stupid. Alright, here we go. Yes, you won, Plutonia. Congrats. Yeah, you don't want me to pick some garbage. So, something I like to do, just for fun, and it really is just for fun, because I'm a spreadsheet-loving nerd, is I like to have a franchise sheet, like this. So, here's our average of the gold. So, here's the golden number across the franchise, in order, if timeline, as well as, the average golden number for the entire franchise. None of this needs to exist. This can all go away. Hang on a second. Just get rid of all this. Get rid of all of this. There we go. Yeah, as I was saying. So, yeah, you like the trench in the middle. Like, the golden number is just... It's pretty solid. Like, it starts... but then it goes up. And then it like, if you... It follows a pretty solid path. Except for the trench that is other M. which drags the average down so hard. The average, as of this moment, not counting the primes, the average golden number for the Metroid franchise is 113, which is really high for a franchise golden number. Most franchises have too many stinkers in them, which drag the overall score down. By the way, I'm very curious what the Zelda average golden number is going to be. Hang on, I got another one. Down here, just for the hell of it, I also keep track of the story and the gameplay. So, gameplay's red, story is green. So as you can see, story has actually always been pretty solid in the Metroid series, and gameplay has mostly been solid for the most part. I mean, sure, Sub-Zero. Absolutely, definitely. Guys, why does a median do a better job than an average? Well, I already gave you that stream, Melkor Blitz. I don't know what else you want from me. I have done my due diligence here. Someone asked about the Marios. I actually decided to divvy the Marios up into the 3Ds and the 2Ds. This is not it. Sorry, so here we go. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't divvy them up at all. Which one of these is this? I think this is it. Because this doesn't count Odyssey. So yeah, so there's the Marios. Over there on the left. You can see story is nowhere on the Marios. Gameplay bounces around a lot. It's a little bit skewed because Wonder's gameplay is so high. Speaking of which, there's your golden number and your averages there. Which, as you can see, is definitely doing its thing. And yeah, Odyssey, the reason Odyssey is such a dip is because I actually have no data for Odyssey yet, obviously. But otherwise, you can see a big jump there. There's actually a lot of jumps there. Sure. Why not? We'll do a median instead. Why not? I'm not sure if I agree with your results, but that's okay, because you're wrong! And you're Hitler! Why are you Hitler, Sub-Zero? Sorry. There we go. So, now that I understand the difference between a median and average, which I totally did before and definitely hadn't forgotten what a median was, that's why I did average instead of median, because average, I don't want to get rid of the outliers, right? The whole point is the average score of a franchise, not the median score of a franchise. Now, we could do both. So if we do both, let's figure out what the calculation is here. So, I guess I would just have to do that once, wouldn't I? So let's just do that once. There you go. So the median for the Metroid series is 187. And if we were to Big Pack... Oh, I forgot to say, the Mario's average is 130. That's counting Odyssey having a 1, by the way, so that's impressive in its own right. And that would make the median for the Mario series 80 as opposed to 130. Because I'm guessing because it axes out Wonder. That's interesting. This is going to be an interesting one right here. And I know what you're thinking. Which one's this one? This one. We're not playing this today, but it's coming soon. I am very curious how this one's going to line up. We'll get to that later. For now, I got to do some paperwork. And after I've done some paperwork, it'll be time for Republic Commando. I'll see you then.